Okay, so next up is a group behind a series of events that are very popular in the eyes of many children. Hailing from the Nelson and Tasman region, let's give Sport Fishing for Youth Charitable Trust a round of applause.
This is Rachel Rees, Mayor of Nelson, and I'm Richard Kempthorne, Mayor of Tasman. I'd like to introduce to you Mark Burdess and Richard Boyden from the Sport Fishing for Youth Charitable Trust. The Trust had the stunning idea of introducing our young people to trout fishing and enjoying our rivers. They tackled me, the Council, the RMA and the impossible. Mark and Richard.
Thank you. The Trust was formed by a group of people who had the opportunity to get out and go fishing and catch fish in their youth, and that led to a lifelong inspiration to go fishing. And in modern times that opportunity is much more limited. So 2 years of planning finally led to construction starting. So we started here, some pretty heavy vehicles having to cross the river to get to our site. And as you can see here, a lot of earth moving. The gravel was extracted for a high-end use locally, and from that a proportion of the money for the gravel was used to construct and start to prepare the ground for ponds. The ponds are in a river catchment area, so as soon as they're built they're going to flood, and the water entering the ponds is cool groundwater, so just perfect for trout. So some heavy vehicles here taking out the profile and led to this, our ponds. As I said, the location was perfect, and the Trust's aim is to get young people between the ages of 6 and 16 fishing. Now that we had a venue, we needed some fish. So, two approaches. The first approach was to buy fish, so we approached Fish and Game and we managed to get some fish delivered from North Canterbury, and this is my students helping load those fish into the ponds. And then the second approach was actually to grow our own fish. So my students at NMIT on an aquaculture program were going to be growing fish anyway, and so this gave us a real purpose for actually what those end use of those fish was going to be. So they grew about 500 salmon for stocking into these ponds. So here's my students starting to release those fish into the lake. So now we had a venue and we had some fish. As you can see, some of the students are a little less keen to be near some fish. But as you can see, some pretty high quality fish were going into the lakes. Okay, so we have 7 fish out days approximately every year where we gather guides and we have a reception tent, so kids book in and tie up with their guides, reception desk, and you can see the weighing desk as well. And then we go fishing.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to look at the actual project it's made for. This is for young boys and girls. The idea of this project, the trustees set up that only children between the ages of 6 and 16 would be able to use these particular ponds and such. And this includes everyone. We wanted children's dream to come true, particularly disabled. We set aside 2 days a year for special need children. This is children with Child's Cancer Foundation, Big Brothers Big Sisters, disability children, children with wheelchairs. They all had an opportunity to have a go at this. We have a group of individual fishermen who just love to show kids how to fish. So they were our helpers on the particular days that we covered. This included the very first thing that we would show the child was where to find fish in these particular ponds. Once that's been identified and such, and the individual caught a fish and landed it, he had to make, or she had to make, the decision in regards to should they release that fish or not release that fish. 99% wished to take it home. The next step was to take that fish up to the actual weighmaster to actually have it weighed and praised, of course. They were given a certificate just like this one here. That's each individual that caught a fish would receive that particular certificate. They would love that particular certificate. They would take it to school, show their friends, show their parents, and pin it in their particular room. It was a real thing to give them. Okay, now the next thing is the success story on this whole project and such. We've been only going for 2 years now. 2012, there were 367 children had an opportunity to catch fish. About half of them actually did catch fish. The big year was this year, 2013-14. We had 520 kids go through these particular ponds. This included nine schools and 2 special needs schools, and about 9 kids in wheelchairs also.
Okay, so we faced a number of challenges on the way. The early ones were around about legal consents, but our biggest challenge was a biological challenge, the thing on the right.
Okay, the thing on the right is a bird, of course it is. It's a shag. It's a serious problem all over the world, actually. Some of these birds are, well, a lot of them are protected. Here in New Zealand, 4 of the 5 are protected. So we went on the internet to actually find out how we solve this problem. We found it by using nets over these particular ponds was the key to it and such. This is the larger one. This is the larger one with the ropes across at the present time. And then there was also nets on the smaller ponds. That solved our problem for 2013. Sponsors have always been a very good part of us. We've had 28 sponsors in this particular project, and we're adding on to that all the time. The main ones are Canterbury Community Trust, Pub Charity, and many others.
Thank you very much.